introduction session with you, sir. Thank you for telling all of us what exactly CGI is. And I hope, Prabhat, your query has been resolved. If you would like to know more, you can visit our official website. Now, since we have, uh, since it's the time and also our guest speaker has arrived, I would like you, I would like to invite Miss Poonam Verma. Sona, over to you now. Please introduce our guest speaker and start with the session.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Nilesh. First of all, I hope you guys can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, ma'am, you are totally
Yes,
audible.
ma'am.
Loud and clear.
Ma'am, you're audible.
Thank you so much. Before I start, the topic or the discussion, instead of just having it a one-way conversation, I would like to have a very interactive session with all of you guys. I would encourage you guys to ask the questions whenever you feel there is a need to ask questions. Maybe please feel free to drop it in chat. I'll pick it as soon as I'm covering the topic. Also, I'm used to screen, so just in case if anybody don't feel that I'm not looking at you guys. Okay. What Nilesh has said is fundamentally right now all the companies which are following is innovation. And thank you, CGI, for taking this first of all for giving this opportunity, and second thing for uh, organizing such kind of event which are just not useful for students, even for entrepreneurs. I see that there are few working candidates, and you guys are always you guys are working on the thirst of learning, how you can expose all of us to learn more. So thank you so much. What I
And
am going to,
and
yes.
thank you, ma'am, for joining us as well. We are very happy to have you. Sona, could you just turn on your mic and start with the session, please?
Sure. Never stop innovating because life never stops showing ideas. And when you need to innovate, you need collaboration. A very pleasant good evening to everyone who are all set to learn today and innovate with exclusive live webinar of Confederation of Global Innovators, Hyderabad, in collaboration with one of the top companies of the world, Aapki Apni Dukaan, Amazon. I am Swati Prajapati, an active member of CGI, an organization which was founded by Mr. Nilesh Sinha in order to build a community that is working tirelessly in the field of innovating and bridging the gap between the stakeholders' development and opportunities. Some of our milestones achieved includes TEDx Chandigarh University, Hackapreneur, International Emporiums, Domain-Based Conclave, Youth Festival of Punjab, workshops, and the list goes on. Today, CGI has collaborated with a company that needs no introduction. Amazon is an American multinational company founded by Jeff Bezos in 1994 with an aim to provide services in the field of e commerce, cloud computing, digital streaming,
Hello.
and artificial intelligence. Now, I take this honor to extend my heartiest welcome to the guest speaker of today's webinar, Ms. Poonam Verma, who is currently Operations Manager at Amazon. Ms. Poonam has an overall experience of 9 years and she is presently managing the operations department at Amazon, Bangalore, where she takes care of achieving the successful outcome of operations, functions, and process, along with assisting the company in policy formulation. Hence, the agenda of today's webinar will revolve around governances of operational department, pre and post corona pandemic, along with guidance of careers at Amazon and much more to go. So, without taking much time, let us welcome Ms. Poonam Verma and begin this interactive, innovative, and informative webinar. Over to you, Poonam ma'am.
Thank you so much, Swati. I am hoping this webinar would be useful to everyone. And as Swati has mentioned, we will definitely talk about what operation department, what do we do, how was the situation before the COVID, and how is the situation during the COVID, and what are a way forward, how to ensure that we don't have such kind. I mean, if we have such kind of issues, how should we prepare about it? Apart from that, definitely there could be questions related to jobs in Amazon or anything. I just want to tell these views. What I will be sharing it with you, all of you guys, are based on my experience while working with Amazon. Okay. Thank you so much. Let me just start with sharing the slide. Give me a minute. I hope all of you guys can view my screen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, can please go ahead.
Thank you, Swati, for the introduction. Let me just start with the topic without wasting any more time. So I am going to talk about today governance of operation department pre and post COVID pandemic. Here are the topics which I will be discussing with all of you guys. First, I'm going to talk about operational department. I heard few of you guys are want to be entrepreneur, or few of you guys are still working. So I'm hoping that talking about operational department will either give you very great insight on, in case if you're going to have your business, what kind of operation department you can set it up, or for the folks who are still working, who are still studying, maybe this particular topic might be useful to figure it out if you are looking for your career in operational department. I'm going to talk about governing mechanism. I'm going to talk about what are the skills which are required for operational department, as well as the impact of COVID-19. uh, the last topic which I will talk about is additional responsibility during COVID. But before I start, maybe a couple of you guys, I saw a couple of you guys are working right now. What do you understand by operational department? When I say, or when anybody say the operations, what is the one picture which come in your mind or in your head? Maybe if anyone can explain it in 2 words or 3 words, that would be really great.
Good evening, Poonam. My name is Shiv. So
Yes,
operations would deal with the day-to-day activities.
correct. Okay, thank you. Apart from Nilesh, is there anybody else who want to tell what are their understanding about operations? Swati, do let me know if anybody is trying to put it over chat. It'll be really great if maybe you can update me what they're talking, as I'm right now concentrating on the slide.
Hi Poonam,
Sure,
Guldeep
ma'am.
this side.
Yes, hi.
So my understanding regarding operation is, for example, if a company they have a product and all, so the product how the manage of that product, this will be done by the operation team. For example, from the starting to by the facing of a customer, because for example, if I develop the software, so to manage that software, how this software will reach to the customer, how will be the feedback, and what action needs to be taken. So all these points, the things will be noted down by the or collect by the operations team.
Perfectly fine. Thank you so much
Hello,
for.
Poonam.
Yes, hi.
Hello, Poonam.
Yes,
Swati this
please.
side. I would like to explain my views as well. So, operations
Perfectly.
department is an area of management.
Mhm.
Operations management and department is an area of management concerned with designing and controlling the process of production and redesigning business operations. in the production of goods and services. So it is one of the major part of an organization that that is connected with the marketing, the finance, and the HR departments as well in order to run the function smoothly. Thank you.
Thank you, Swati. That was helpful. Thank you so much. Okay. Anybody else want to talk about? Okay, I'm moving on. Sure. So I'm going to tell you one of the major definition. There's an institute called PMI, that is Project Management Institute, based out in Pennsylvania, US. What do they do is basically they provide certification for program management. I mean, you guys can definitely check about it after the session. PMI has specifically, sent it out one of the definition on operation. Operation is nothing but the ongoing routine activities that are involved in organization's primary business. I have a business of, let's assume in case of Amazon, it's a business of e-commerce. So how do we ensure that ongoing, there's a routine, the continuous work is going on without any kind of without any kind of iteration. This is basically, keeping the lights on, work, for example, managing that there is enough staffing, managing payroll. These are the just few of the examples of operation department. In any business, you are planning to have a startup, you need to, let's take example of food. What do we need for food? Now customers are going to come 24/7. Then there would be one team who will be constantly working on the ground, making sure that they are serving the customers, right? So this is what PMI defines. But in the obviously based on this, as of today, none of the no big company can achieve success or even a function. So when I say function, even any of the department without operational management. In order to profit for maximize, operational management needs to work extremely efficiently. It is a job of operation manager to make sure that in any of the business, inventory is managed and the raw material which is required to do the job are available. He or she will be, apart from ensuring that the raw material is available, the person, the operation manager would be responsible for quality control also. As I gave you the example of, food business. So if I have to make sure that my customers are happy, my operation department needs to work smoothly, and they need to work, I mean, till the time customers are there. But there is something which is very important, is quality. I'm just going to give you example of Jeff Bezos. One of the reason Amazon stands out to be a successful company is because Jeff Bezos constantly work on customers' need. We are called as, world's most customer-centric company. Most of you guys would be from, maths or physics. I mean, they might have heard this formula, E equals to MC square. If I'm not wrong, this is energy formula. But in Amazon, E equals to MC square, we forgot that it used to be energy formula. We use it as a, Earth's most customer-centric company. How do you become a Earth's most customer-centric company is by having a proper checks for quality control. The term operational management refers to the coordination and coordination of primary business undertaking the results in achieving organization's goal. So if Jeff Bezos has a goal for Amazon, let's assume they want to achieve XYZ things in like next 360 years, sorry, in 360 days. So that's when the, team like us, operation team, will be making sure that we are working towards that operational goal. Operation management focus on aligning, on companies' big picture. What is company's objective? That's what the operation management works. They just not, they just not focus on aligning the operation with customer company's objective. They also help the business to go where it has to basically go. This way, though this might seems too over, achieving to include in day-to-day tasks, but then there are many examples of how good operation management can improve the efficiency of business. Those examples I will talk about it once we are going forward. Any questions on this? Anyone who want to understand or who has not got the clarity, please do let me know. Okay, I take it as no. Guys, just give me a minute. Yes. Okay, moving on. I am going to talk about the governing mechanism. I'll try to again try to make it as very interactive. I would like to definitely know it from audience. What do you understand by, if anybody could tell me what do they understand by governing mechanism of any operational department? What do you think basically would be the governing mechanism in operational department? Okay.
So for
That's all.
operations, yeah.
Sorry.
So for
Yes.
operations management, it's very essential that we meet both the ends. The supply and the demand end is met at in the right time, and we manage all our vendors in the right fashion. You need to go for plan B, so everything is to be in place. So the governing mechanism, I would say, for operations management is the governing factor would be meeting the demands and ensuring that everything flows smoothly.
Perfectly fine. Thank you. In order to explain the governing mechanism of operation department, I will ask one more question to the audience, maybe in a very layman. I would like to explain it in very layman language. Let's assume you have a factory of making sauces. I hope everybody understands sauces. So something which you have it in morning breakfast. In case if you guys are non-vegetarian, I'm sure you guys would be knowing it very well. Let's assume we have a Swati. Okay, Swati has set up a factory of making sauces. Now, according to you guys, what are the work which will be required to sell sauces, and whom all you will be appointing in order to make sure that your factory is running smoothly? I'm taking this example so that I can explain you the difference between other roles such as a program manager or like some other role. But maybe I would like to understand it from all of you guys. If Swati is setting up a factory of sauces, today she has decided that according to all of you guys, what all work will it be required to sell the sausage, and whom all do you think Swati will be appointing?
Ma'am, Swati this side. First
Yes,
of all,
Swati.
it will be very important to know we have to do the market survey as well, like what the customer exactly wants today. Also, I have to appoint someone who has good knowledge of taste as well, because that is something that is going to be delivered to the customer. On the other
Mm-hmm.
hand, I should be having a good team, which is a combination of finance, HR, and marketing team as well. So that is my point of view. Thank you.
Thank you, Swati. Yeah, yes, you were to the point. Definitely, if Swati is going to set up a sausage factory, she firstly need to have a marketing guy who is definitely going to talk about the work which she is going to do to the potential clients. That is definitely pretty much clear about it. And then she is definitely going to have a HR guy because she's going to set up a factory. Factory will definitely have people. For them, HR person will be needed. Then she will have somebody from finance, because again she would need somebody to take care of all the accounting, all the detail. Then there would be somebody who will be actually making the sausage. This is the work. I mean, with other folks, Swati has basically gone ahead and done the work to make sure that she is getting successful. And let's assume she has kept somebody who is basically going to taste the sausages. Now, we figured it out that this kind of taste is what required, for the customer. what she would be needing right now is the operations guys who will be doing day-to-day work. How? So that will start from, it starts from, hiring those person, hiring those particular people. For example, hiring this chef, who can actually go ahead and make the sausage for them. And then though she has hired chef, or let's assume though she has hired interns, she will be responsible. I mean, let's assume she's also taking care of operation department, so operation department will be responsible for training them. Okay, it's just not training is done. I mean, if I'm expecting an intern to make 100 sausages in a day, obviously the person after training will not start making 100 sausages. I will have to go ahead and provide a mentoring. I have to create a ramp plan. Hey, maybe in week one, just do one thing. Go ahead, do with 20 sausages. I would want to see how you are making 20. If 20 are perfect, then she is going to make a ramp plan for for next couple of more weeks. Slowly, that's how the person will be able to get into the production. Though now when I'm telling, it might be sounding easy, but when you are in operation department, it's to give you another example. For example, in Amazon, if I need to hire operation department, I need to start making the planning 3 months advance. So for that, what is required from governance perspective is that you need to have the planning mode. You should be in like a planning, actively, your planning mode should be actively on every time, because you once, if we fail at planning, what happens is my sausages, let's assume by end of the day, if I'm supposed to sell 1,000 sausages, those 1,000 sausages will not be going. If they are not going, that will definitely not fulfill my the whole idea of setting up a factory. Once, let's assume somebody who has come into the production, we have trained them, we have mentored them, we basically did their quality check, we figured it out, yes, this person is making perfectly fine, right? What else is required after that is the constant evaluation, the constant audit, which would be required, and which is one of, I would request the audience to put on mute. I see some kind of disturbance. Thank you. Thank you, Grace. Yes. So going back, once a person has been hired, there would be constant performance evaluation, performance audit, which needs to happen. Because let's assume if that's not happening any day, if we don't have evaluation, performance evaluation methods in place, any day your company or your factory can shut. Okay. When I am doing a performance, again, please understand, operation management is, operation management is basically working with humans. We are not working with machines, right? So once I have, like, let's assume Swati has hired 10 people. She has given them the same kind of training, same kind of, ramp up plan, everything. And at the end of the day, after some time, when everything is ready, what Swati has to do is Swati will be checking their performance, will be figuring it out. Who are my 10 people, where do they stand in rank wise, who is basically doing the amazing work, who is who still needs my support, who needs maybe not giving 100 perfect sausages, he or she is just doing 80. So what kind of additional support is Swati can provide? It is a constant cycle which keeps on going. Now if she has a 10 people, if the person is a X person, the person who is at top is doing constantly amazing job, then after some time, human have their needs, human needs to be motivated. If he is doing, and if Swati is not able to motivate, you know what's going to happen, what happened to all of us. I mean, if you are doing some kind of work, you don't get motivated, there are 50% chances that you will stop doing that work. What do Swati has to do in that case is Swati has to create R&R model, basically recognize and reward model. And then she needs to promote the right talent. The person who is able to do, maybe she has to go ahead and provide the additional responsibility, see how she can groom that person to get to the maybe next level, or whatever his skill set are, or she feels that this person is maybe next time suitable for some XYZ position. That's how Swati can work. So I try to take an example to explain you this whole governing mechanism of operations. I hope you guys are clear. But yes, if you guys have any questions, please do type it in chat. Swati, please do let me know if okay, I see my screen.
Yes,
Someone
actually,
else's question.
Raman has a point that he would like to share. Swati needs to
Yes.
calculate the target addressable market ratio among the total consumers in market who consume sauce.
Okay, Swati needs to calculate the target addressable market ratio among the total consumer in market who consume sauce. Yes, Swati will be responsible for calculating the target also. I am not sure. I mean, if that is just for yes or no, or if Raman wants to know something else. Raman, do you want to unmute yourself and would like to talk? Okay, I'm not sure if I have answered Raman's query, but to tell you, for example, when I said that Swati needs to hire the right talent, for example, need to hire 10 people. How will Swati decide that 10 people are required? That is because somebody from marketing team will be going and doing the study saying that, hey Swati, we are planning to cover this particular city, Jaipur or Bangalore, maybe two cities we are planning to cover it up. So to cover it up, these many sausages is what we would need. Now, based on her experience, she will work on the approximate head count which would be required to make those number of sausages. Calculation of whether the market big enough at the location of business to interest a company. Is the market fast enough to reach target within the time limit fixed to achieve a certain goal? Is the market profitable enough, or how can we reach? So Raman, whatever these questions, I see that you have asked three questions. These would be more of related to the marketing marketing team, because all this analysis is something which marketing team would be doing, for which Swati has already hired somebody from the marketing team. What operations team would be doing once marketing team has told, hey, by end of the day, every day, I need 2,000 sources. So what Swati would be required to do is to make sure that she is doing the hiring, training, making sure that those 2,000 sources are ready by end of the day. That's what Swati would be doing. And again, this was just an example to explain you the governing mechanism. Okay, so coming back to governing mechanism. Just a second, guys. I'm trying to share my screen. I hope you guys can see. So viewing operation management as a centralized governing mechanism for a company translate its role in business operation. For example, operation management define, design, implement inter-office communication utilized every day, such as business and financial firm. It also designates tasks to department, supervisors, and subordinates. That's one of the important aspect of operation management. Uh, Operations management handle things such as personal management, training, performance evaluation, or audit. One of the important task which which operation management does is streamlining the daily task. So to give you one of the example, I would like to take an example from my from my work. Again, the reason of giving you example is just to ensure that you guys understand it very clearly. A couple of years back, I was working with one of the department where I have just moved in, and then I noticed that the kind of work which people are doing is very much repetitive in work. Okay, it could be easily done maybe by creating one macros in Excel. This takes me back to the Nilesh point who was talking about the innovation. So not necessarily innovation always means coming up with big SQL or Python theory. It could be a very small thing, for example implementing a macros. So I noticed that if I implement a macro, the work which these guys are doing, that can be actually instead of 2 head count, it could reduce by 50%. Only 1 head count is what would be required. Then in that case, another head count is what I can go ahead and use it for some other activity. So this is just to give you example from my day-to-day job. So my point is operation management continuously work on streamlining daily tasks, which starts from from associate level to mentors to trainers to the operation manager. Even they are expected to streamline the daily task. It's just not in Amazon. If it is even applicable in uh, in other MNCs also. Okay.
Okay, actually,
Moving. Yes.
Sunil over
Yes.
here has a very valid question. If the taste of the product is good and demand increases, how we control production with small business?
When you say how do we control production with small business, I'm sorry, what do you mean by that last line, Sunil? If taste is good, your demand is increasing. How we control production with small business? Uh, if you could just tell me what you mean by how we control production with small business.
I believe
Yes, Sunil. Hi.
he, I believe he needs to say that how will he, like how a small business will manage the entire production. Sunil, if this is not the same, please figure it out, and please resolve the issue and tell what exactly you mean.
Are you saying okay, so your point is if my business is small, maybe not like for factory, but maybe just a startup, or maybe I have just started it and I figured it out that this is somehow working, but where I just have 4 to 5 people. Is this what, Sunil, you are trying to ask? Thank you, Sunil. So, see, how do we control production is obviously, hiring is not the long-term solution. If you want to increase your business, definitely not. I won't suggest you hiring, but to a certain level, hiring would be one of them. Second, one would be, how the work which I just mentioned it. If you have a repetitive work, how you can smoothen, or how you can basically 4 steps, how you can convert it in 1 step. That's what would be operation managers work. So for example, for sauces, if I need a raw material, one person would be going getting the raw material, second one would be going cutting it, and third one would be going doing some kind of cooking this sausages, right? So if I have a three thing, where first thing, maybe the person one who is going multiple times to the market to get the raw material, how can you make sure that that is streamlined? Do you need to? Is it required for a person to go once, in a day, or can you manage it with twice in a day or thrice in a day? That's where that's where the operation manager would be, coming into the picture. So it's all about streamlining it. Hi Ankit, I did read your question. How does risk management of Amazon's operation prevent fraudulent transaction? Yes, Jyoti, you are right. Basically, automating the process at ground level perfectly. That was the answer for Sunil. Hi, Ankit. I would like to come back to your question. How does buyer risk management of Amazon's operation prevent fraudulent transaction? And also, what kind of software system and innovations are being used by TRMS team? First of all, thank you so much for asking the question. I have personally started my career with TRMS, but that is something which is very confidential as per Amazon policy. We cannot share, uh, the the process of preventing the fraudulent, because how we have a team in Amazon called the CRMS who is making sure that there is no fraud in Amazon. There are teams in the world who are making sure that there are multiple frauds which are happening. So because of security reasons, I will not be able to answer. But as thank you for asking that question. TRMS remains one of my favorite team. I started my career from there, and that's where I grew as a operation manager. Okay, guys, moving on. Just a second. Uh, Again, I'm new to Meet. Let me try to share my screen. What are the skills which are required for operation department? I'm going to take two topics here. I mean, this is specifically for the people who are looking for, a job in operation department, and obviously for the people who are going to have, who are planning to have their own startup. Uh, the skills which are required is obviously the one which is think out of the box. Like as we were just discussing some time back, how you can automate your daily tasks. Not everybody is capable enough of going and doing that. So for example, if you want to be a software engineer, it's very simple. Go ahead, learn Python, learn machine learning. You have acquired the skill, just go ahead and use it. But operation department keeps coming up with multiple challenges, keeps coming up with uh, on ground, basically on ground reality is seen by operational department. Subject matter expertise, I have mentioned it as SME, subject matter expertise. I mean, the department where you are, you need to have thorough knowledge, and that's why you will see that compared to any other department, where that could be finance, marketing, or software developer, or any of the department, it's an operational department who make sure that they are using enough 2 to 3 months, and in some department, up to 6 months, there is a constant training, mentoring, as well as the ramp period which is given to the folks. Any of the company, I'm just not talking about Amazon. My experience with IBM, or my experience when I interact with people from or other MNCs like Mahindra, TCS, or any of those, Infosys, any of these companies, they, for operation department, the training period normally goes beyond like what any of the other department, HR department or SD department, you have it. For example, you want to be a software engineer, you know those skills, they'll tell you, hey, this is what is required. From your second day onwards, you will be seeing that I have already started working. But this does not happen with operation department. So SME, subject matter expertise, is very, very important factor, which is required. Now it depends on which operation department you are going. So that means if somebody jumps from one operation department to another operation department, they need to go and make sure that they're learning the operations of that particular department. I myself have moved, like for example, within Amazon, I have moved to 3 different departments. Every time, I mean, I have to go take up my job, I have to learn about, like somebody, Ankit mentioned about TRMS. For TRMS, I have to go learn everything. I mean, I just can't wait that, okay, I am a manager and it will be taken care. No, that does not work. I had to move to pricing team. I have to move to business operations team. There's a team which I was handling is we were dealing with the third party sellers, right? So I have to every time go learn, and this is just not for me. It is for all the people who are just we are who are joining this department. So if you feel that you have that constant learning if you have that constant learning thing in you, then definitely operations department is something which is for you, right? What are the skills which are required for operations manager is what I am going to talk here. The first one is shaping the work environment. So three element dedicates a company's work environment. The first one is making sure that the team's performance standards are set to the pace as and the quality of people's effort. So that remains the utmost one, which I have been talking constantly from the start of my discussion. The second one, the business concept that define what company is like and how it operates. So I give you example of E equals to MC squared. So I know the company's motto, or any of the operations team will know that company's motto is customer obsession, right? So the work which I'm doing, how it is going to impact the customer remains in our back end every time. Hey, by doing these XYZ things or by doing this repetitive task, is it going to yield benefit to my customer or not? So you need to, I mean, once you are in operation department, you need to pace up with company's motto. Uh, when I say shaping the world environment, again, we are working with the humans, so the people concept and the values for the people who are actually working over there remains another, important skill which is expected from operations manager. The second one, crafting a strategic vision. So again, if we go back to the previous example where Swati had set up a factory of sausages, right? So the vision is that down the line, the company's vision is that down the line, I am going to have 2,000 sausages per day. So that vision, which I mean, if company has provided it to Swati, who's like handling operations department, she needs to have a strategic planning how she will ensure that down the line, these 2,000 sausages are prepared with a proper quality check. That's one thing. Allocating resources. All the operation managers say that they allocate, resources to support competitive strategies. Once, I mean, for example, Swati has prepared her strategy. Now, the number of people, every time she cannot go and hire, right? If she has 10 people, then she has to manage it with 10 people, and then she has to make sure that she's allocating resources to the right kind of skill so that the company can economically be healthy and produce high return. Okay, so if you analyze the way the process work in most company, you will find excessive support for marginal businesses, the low payout projects, and operating necessities. In short, I mean, there is no strategy focus which they have it, and that's why you will see that people have to lay off, or they are sitting on the bench, or they don't have proper operating systems in place. That's one thing which we which is at most required from operation managers. Operations concentrate more resources on situations that provide an opportunity to gain an important competitive edge and least improve on one once they already enjoy it. So that's a fundamental, I guess, rule which work for all the departments. That is, company tend to what you call focus on you once they see that you have potential to grow, you are giving something big to the company, and that gets analyzed by the operation manager. uh, Developing team, so developing the star performer, you have somebody who like in case when we were talking about the factory, Swati has somebody who is constantly working on being the top in the rank or in the stack. Then so the next action of Swati as an operation manager would be to how should I develop it to the next role. Uh, nobody is born as a manager. I was never born as a manager, definitely, but then somebody has gone ahead and has taught me things. Well, to be honest, somebody has I have started my career where somebody has told me about Excel also. I never knew that Excel could be so beneficial, or it could be so useful, but then somebody has come and told me, because I was like with really good, that means my operation manager was like, obviously was having all these field overseeing, what do you call, overseeing operations, which is up and running the responsibility of operation manager is supervise operations implementation, figure it out where is the leakage going on, what are the scenes from where, if there's a potential leakage, how they can prevent it in from happening it in future. That's one. It means running the operation day to day by producing sound plan. It's just not, it can't be the case that Swati told 10 people, hey guys, you have to go ahead and do 10 sausages. You have to prepare, 2,000 sausages by end of the day. What if somebody is on leave? What if somebody is just stopped coming to office? Or what if somebody is not performing? So that sound plan, operation manager needs to be ready with those sound plan, spotting the problems, opportunities early. There is one good thing, there is nothing bad. We consider in, at least in MNCs, that hey, this is bad. If either you have it like really good, if something didn't work, so that means you have opportunity to learn from it, so that others can learn from this and make sure that this is not happening it in future, right? So those are the specific skills, but one of the important thing which I have not mentioned it here, if you are looking to be in operation department, your future in operation department, one thing which is at most required, which is definitely not mentioned in any of the job profile, is empathy. If the operation manager does not have empathy, he or she are bound to, is bound to fail. That's one thing. Now, I'm going, so this is till now whatever I spoke was to explain you how operation department works. I just want to make sure that there are no questions. If there are questions,
Yes, yes, ma'am. There are a few questions.
we'll
Ankit,
definitely, I'll go one by one. I see Raman Deep, okay, that's on. Yes, somebody was talking. I'm sorry if you want.
yeah, Ankit over here has a question. GeoMart is expanding its operations in new products, categories, and markets. It will have the chance to leverage resources from Reliance Industries and its subsidiaries, posing a serious threat to Amazon. How will this impact e-commerce ecosystem in India with collaboration of Geo Amazon?
So, is Ankit trying to say that what if Geo and Amazon collaborate?
Well, I believe
I'm
so.
hoping that's what. Yeah, Ankit, unfortunately, those decisions should be taken by Anil Ambani and Jeff Bezos. Uh, but one thing, if I agree, GeoMart is expanding, but I just want to tell you from specific from Amazon. As of today, if you search it on Google, Amazon is having its availability on in 19 marketplace, starting from one of the strongest, started with the strongest country, US. Though Geo is expanding, and with all respect to India, I love India. I want to tell people, so before you guys judge me or take my point somewhere else, we have a lot of exposure, which I feel right now Geo is not having, and collaboration is something as I said, which Anil Ambani and Jeff Bezos is something they have to work upon. But if I leave that, will Geo be a threat to Amazon? Could be, definitely it could be. But what Amazon has different from Geo is like two things. One is innovation, which is our constant, one of the leadership principle on which not only we, Jeff Bezos work, and definitely the customer obsession which we have it. The second thing which we have is experience. We have our right now Amazon is operating in 19 countries. That means the kind of exposure which they have got it, I am assuming that the equivalent to Geo, we had Walmart in US, right? So it's not that we have just left the Walmart back and we are going and we are saying that we are number one. No, we are still working to make sure that we are standing at number one. So I hope I answered your question, but if not, please do uh, let me know. Overall, thank you so much, Ankit, for asking. Vedant, could you give us something about the importance of developing skills before entering a corporate sector? Couple of things. I mean, especially for operations department, if the kind of skills which you are in order to enter into the operation department, you need to be logical thinker. How any of the company normally figure it out if you're a logical thinker or not? There are certain those you know questions which they give you. They check where how do you think in a certain kind of situation. Some could be logical questions on which they check. That's one thing. Second is your communication skills. I mean, I am not sure, but then obviously just talking in English does not mean you have a communication skill, but making sure that what you want to speak is just told it in one sentence, not in three to four sentences. Communication skills are required just not for operation department, but for others also. And then Vedant, it also depends on what kind of field you want to go. For example, you want to be business analyst, then definitely you need to have skill of SQL. But in order to crack that, you really need to have the communication skills. So for people, at least for college freshers, I would like to tell, make sure that your communication skills are just on par with the market. I understand we have huge competition, but if you have right side the communication skills, you will be able to crack most of the things. And then definitely your logical, you need to be logical thinker. For a college
Hello,
student,
Poonama.
yeah, hi Swati,
I have a question.
please.
As we all can see a sudden change in every sectors, right? Whether it belongs to private or government. So what changes we expect in e-commerce companies in future? As lots of global companies, e-commerce brands are now putting less effort on human and replacing them with drones for delivering the product. So how will it affect India? As we've been talking about what you exactly need to be, what exactly skills you need to be in Amazon as an operation manager. So I would like you to just brief me on that.
So see,
For
the
the question.
reason they are introducing drone is to not to remove people. Definitely, that's not the case, which I'm sure Jeff Bezos is thinking, and that's not the case which is at least told to us. Uh, the reason we are bringing drones, yeah, I'm just taking your example, is because people, I mean, just think about yourself. 3 years back versus today, how much your online shopping habit have changed? Has it changed? So earlier, let's assume if we were getting 100 orders, we had staff for 100 orders, and we could send people to deliver those 100 orders. But now those 100 orders, specifically during COVID situation, now everybody want things to come at home. Nobody want to go to the market for very obvious reason, and which is safe also. Those 100 have turned to 1,000. So for that, we need additional support. So drones are basically nothing but the additional support.
Okay, thanks a lot, ma'am, for asking this query. However, we have one more query from Guru. Being an operation manager, if team is not performing, how to handle such situation and align the members in the team space?
Uh, yes, this is something which I would love to, talk about. I have been working as an operation manager since 5 years. So if somebody is not performing, how to handle in such situation, I'm hoping you are talking about the work business, right? And align the team members in the same pace. So in that could be because of two three different reason. One is that either manager himself or herself needs to learn more about on ground what's happening. The second could be, it could be just could be will issue. I mean, that happens very often. I mean, I won't say it does not happen, that also happens. The third could be the skill issue. Maybe the skill of the person which was supposed to match with this profile is not matching. Then we would expect the person to, you know, look out for some job where your skills are matching, instead of, you know, you wasting, we waste, I mean, company wasting your time and you wasting company's time. That's, these are the basically things which normally could happen. Before Guru, I see that
Happy has a question. Yes, very
yeah,
right.
yeah.
For a college student who thinks of joining operation department for some company, will it help him to have a bright future ahead? Will he be able to learn new skills?
Thank you so much for asking the questions. Definitely, you have a bright future in operations department. I won't deny. Myself is the example of that. I have started it from scratch. Will he be able to learn new skills? New skills is something. If you're not focusing on learning, then leave about. Just don't focus on operation management. Any of the department wherever you go, I doubt the person would be able to survive. Constant learning is at most a requirement in operations. Yeah, definitely, it's at most required in operations. Based on your experience, maybe you can handle a team. You know, you can make sure that how your team is working and all this thing. But how will you figure it out? What are the quality checks which are required? How will you make sure that your work is done effectively or your team is doing effectively? Moving
Abhay,
on,
Abhay
Amazon,
yeah, Abhay over here has one query.
I guess,
Are
is also on building local kirana.
sorry?
Amazon, I guess, is okay. Abhay's question is Amazon, I guess. Okay, that's more of like a information.
No, no, no.
The basic.
No. It is a different question. He has posted one more question. Are there any plans of adoption of blockchain in e-commerce to remove the middlemen and have seamless delivery, non-fraudulent?
Uh, are there any plans of adoption of blockchain in e-commerce to remove middlemen and have seamless delivery, non-fraudulent delivery? Uh, Abhay, I'm not sure what you mean by blockchain here, and Amazon is known for delivering the products on time. So I
No,
guess
no.
we are already there.
Let me explain his query on a personal level. Basically, what Amazon is, they are just taking the product and helping the consumers get their product. They are acting like a middleman in the product delivery. What Abhay
Mm-hmm.
mentions is, what if there was just a single order placed and then the shopkeeper or the retailer or the businessman directly delivered it to his or her place, not having Amazon as a middleman? And by the non-fraudulent delivery, I believe he means that sometimes on Amazon, a consumer gets a product that he was not wishing for, like a t-shirt. A t-shirt appears to be dark white in color, but when you get it, it is a little pale. That is what Abhay means. Abhay, if I'm wrong, please unmute yourself and share your points.
Okay, thank you so much, Rohit, for explaining.
Yes,
The
exactly, Rohit. That is what I was trying to say. And then the e-commerce also we can use a blockchain technology where the delivery is for, uh, seamless, like recently my one of my friend ordered a Sony Bravia TV from Amazon, and when he opened up the package, it was from some other company like Videocon. Videocon. So with blockchain, at least that end-to-end secure channel is kind of formed, and these kind of can be removed. So that is what I was trying to ask. That is, does Amazon has planned to use this blockchain technology?
That's very nice. So blockchain can be used, I think. So actually, I wanted to know, Poonam, that what would be a typical day of yours as an operations manager in Amazon, and how it is very different from any other company. What is so special about working in a big MNC like Amazon, and how it's, I wanted to know about the quantitative methods being used in operation decisions. So
Uh,
right after is.
Animesh, can you please repeat your last question again? The last
About
part?
the last part was like how much do you use ABC, VD analysis, or might be some other analysis as a technical, basically quantitative analysis, being an operations manager in your day-to-day decision making?
Thank you for asking that question, Animesh. So, how does my day look like? Is basically, starts it from I work with this pricing team, so it starts it from making sure that the prices on Amazon are, so we are basically selling at the best rate in the interest of customer. So it's basically I have a team who is taking care of this. So it starts with dealing with the team. Those That's one thing. In case if any of the things which are falling in our pricing system, then I have to go ahead and fix those, and just not fix those, even make sure that even I have to make sure that these are not happening, preventing it from happening it in future. That is the second one, which is normally in my in my day-to-day thing. Performance evaluation is the third one, but again, not on daily basis, but on monthly basis. I have to ensure that my uh, my team's performance is up to the mark. Anybody who needs the support, who is not able to perform the task, what are the different kind of support which I can give it to the which I can provide it to my team, remains the third one. But my 60% of the time, I can clearly say that is spent on the operational activity. Now, that could vary from department to department. As I mentioned it earlier, I have worked with three different departments, and my activities, apart from people management, 60% of the every time the activities are around the operations.
Thank you, Kunal, for answering that. Can you also illustrate on the technical, on the quantitative methods being used while making day-to-day decisions?
Yes, definitely. They are, useful. It is really good that you move those, analysis, those metrics which you just spoken about. I myself have taken the course from PMI on project management just to ensure that I am getting successful in my operation. In my operations role, so those skills are required. It required from checking, for example, by end of the week I have to be at X number in my metrics, or in my operation department we define obviously metrics. When I say define metrics, there would be the work which is done by my team, there would be output also, right? So in that output, today if I'm at X, how should I reach to Y, or how should I reach to Z, is something. That's when I would be using those analysis. That's when I'll be able to figure it out if I need to hire, or if I have to make any changes in my strategy. If I'm changing this A strategy, is it going to benefit me to take to the Y? So those analysis are anyways required. Apart from those, you need to have you need to do, in case if something is breaking, you need to do root cause analysis, figure it out, what went wrong, or 5 why, or fishbone analysis. This is something which are expected from operation managers.
Thank you, Poonam. That answers.
Thank you. Thank you, Animesh. That was, thank you for asking that question. I see there are a lot of questions. Amardeep is
Yes,
asking
ma'am.
that
Ma'am, actually, for the questions part, however it is concerned, we we already have exceeded with the time limit, so a Google form has been circulated. Everyone, please make sure that you fill that form for your queries, and we will respond you via email within the next 48 hours. Meanwhile, let's finish the session since everyone has some places to be.
Yes. Yeah, we have already exceeded by 11 minutes. Thank you for pointing it out. I'm going to talk about impact of COVID-19. Again, instead of stretching it, I will ask all of you guys very simple. If this COVID-19 would not be there, how do you think we would be interacting? Will we interacting face to face? Will be guys in one of the conference room, and then we are seeing each other, and then we would be discussing? Do you think that would be the case? Yeah, that would
Uh,
be the case.
yes.
Yes. So I'm going to talk about two things. What is the impact which we had it because of COVID-19, and how we can, how we are ensuring that in future, in future, in case if we have situation like this, how should we be ready about it? So obviously the impact has been done from obviously COVID has impacted all of us, in some or other way. Just one thing which at least stands out for me is that right now e-commerce is growing. So on work front, nothing has changed, but the way we guys have been working has changed big time. Uh, Earlier, in human nature, getting that I'll be working from home, where you will be just sitting in front of laptop. The first thing which impacted all of us was the communication. But again, thanks to Jeff Bezos, he has really good technology. He ensured that we all are, communicated. We have those channels in place where the communication is not losing. Everything from offline mode, we have come to online mode. So from seeing each other, it has come to virtual mode, uh, which is starting from hiring to the training. I mean, we have never done in my current process, we have never done any process training virtually because it is really complicated, and we always used to be afraid that what if people are not able to explain if once we share it over a chime or over a Google Meet or anything, right? So those challenges as an operations, we have taken it. We went ahead. Maybe the time of process training, which let's assume earlier used to be 2 weeks, we have increased it by 4 weeks. Right? The hiring, earlier, for example, people have to come, they have to write the aptitude test or English test. Now everything has been done through virtual. So there would be a link which will be sent to the potential candidates, and then just not sending it, because if we are sending, anybody can answer. Then there are different technology which obviously HR tells you in place that hey, you can't open some other screen while working on this. Our meetings, I mean, earlier we used to go to conference room to attend. Now we all are getting it over a chime. So obviously the impact have been there. I will not say it is not there. Now we have a lot of challenges, power issues, network issues. In case in Bangalore it's raining, and then I keep getting those complaints, that we don't have network and power. But there's nothing which we can do. As I mentioned it earlier, empathy is one thing which is, I guess, why we are still successful even during COVID-19. We understand that people can't, if there is a power cut, or if let's assume I would not have the network right now, I don't know if I can do anything about it because it's not in my hand. Only thing maybe I could do is I can go to my neighbor's house, right? So empathy plays the important role in that case. And it does not come from the it comes from the what do you call, from the leadership team. So I have seen at least the change. I mean, our leadership team, because we started doing work from home, there is a lot of communication, there's a lot of empathy, there is a lot of discussion which goes on, like how people are feeling. Because right now, for all of us, what is important is making sure that our people are safe. We will definitely have business, but if my people are not safe, I'm 200% sure that we will not have the business. Right now, everything is going virtual. What we have learned from COVID-19 from now onwards, to again give you example from my current department, we started having virtual batches where we started giving opportunities to female who want to return to office, maybe after they were on 2-3 years of break, or maybe people who were preparing for government exams, but then they realize that somehow they are not able to do it, right? That's what we have started doing it, making sure that we have virtual teams in place, just not across this department but across a couple of other departments, so that in future if we have some kind of strike, or if we have something, at least our people are not getting disturbed, our business is going smooth. That's the impact, and that's the planning from this COVID-19. uh, Additional responsibility, definitely. um, Additional responsibility which we have it is, we are making sure that our workforce is protected. We are managing the risks to ensure that the business continuity is not stopping, and at the same time, uh, communication is something which is very important. We have been getting communicated throughout for each and everything, as well as just not from us, even from HR. And this is just not with Amazon. This is definitely just not. I won't say that we are the only company who are doing it. This is how the most of the MNCs are adopting to it. Most of the startups are adopting to it. People who have not been in house for a week, now we have just learned it. I mean, to give you example, earlier I have done business travels and all, been to different cities just for work, but now this all has come to a stop because we understand. If that can't be done, we are just coming up with the alternative. Again, human minds are always there to check for the alternatives. That's all which I have it today. I hope my experience on management, as well as the understanding of operation management, you guys have understood it. Uh, this situation, COVID, is definitely, I'll say, for temporary, but what will take all of you guys in the longer run is skill and communication. So that's how I would like to end this topic. But if you have any questions,
Ma'am, I
please.
have a question. It's regarding the
I am sorry.
logistics.
I am really sorry, Nitesh, and
Hello.
I'm really sorry, Animesh. We won't be able to hold any queries as for now. A link for queries
Okay.
has been shared in the comment box. Please share your query over there, and we will get back to you within 48 hours with your answer. And I would really like to
Thank you.
thank
Thank you.
Poonam. Yeah, I would really like to thank Poonam ma'am for giving this session and entertaining our audience, and also for guiding the students with the career path. Sona, are you there?
Yes, yes,
Yes. Sona,
yes.
can you please give the vote of thanks?
Sure. Thank you, Rohit, for that. Good evening, one and all. I'm Sona Mohammed, chapter head of CGI Hyderabad. It gives me an immense pleasure organizing such a amazing webinar. On behalf of the CGI organization, I would like to extend my hearty vote of thanks to Ms. Poonam Verma, Operations Manager at Amazon, who blessed us with her knowledge and presence. We are glad to have you here. You took your valuable time of your busy schedule. Thank you so much, ma'am. I also wish to express my gratitude to Mr. Nilesh Sinha, CGI chairman, for organizing such a wonderful webinar and consistently supporting the young minds to grow. A special thanks to CGI team for their unflinching support and coordination. Our heartfelt thanks to the participants for their enthusiasm to learn even in these hard times. With these warm words and a kind message, we move to the end of today's webinar. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending this webinar.
Participants, please do not leave the session.